4 must-know habits to prevent sudden death during sleep after age 70. Advice from seniors. Part 1. Overview of sudden death during sleep in the elderly. 1.1. What is sudden death during sleep? Sudden death during sleep refers to an unexpected death that occurs during sleep without any clear warning signs. This phenomenon is particularly concerning and more common among elderly individuals over the age of 70. Victims are often found deceased in the morning, with no signs of struggle or pain, leaving their loved ones shocked and devastated. According to many medical studies, most cases of sudden death during sleep are not the result of passing peacefully, as many people believe. Instead, they are caused by serious physiological disorders that silently progress without detection, such as dangerous cardiac arrhythmias, ventricular arrhythmia, ventricular fibrillation, acute hypertension, respiratory failure or sleep apnea, heart attack, myocardial infarction, stroke caused by blocked or ruptured blood vessels in the brain, airway obstruction due to improper sleeping posture. 1.2. How common is this phenomenon? According to statistics from the World Health Organization (WHO), approximately 15 to 20% of deaths in people over 70 are sudden and without prior warning, with over 60% of those occurring at night during sleep. In Vietnam, although specific national data has not been widely published, figures from major hospitals in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City indicate that nighttime deaths account for a significant portion of emergency cardiovascular cases in the elderly. What's particularly noteworthy is that many of these incidents could be prevented by maintaining healthy daily habits, especially those practiced in the evening, when the body is more susceptible to imbalance. 1.3. Why are people over 70 at higher risk? Once a person reaches the age of 70, their body undergoes many physiological and functional changes, including weakened cardiovascular system. Heart muscles become fibrotic, contract more slowly, and are more prone to arrhythmias. Stiffened blood vessels. Arterial walls lose elasticity, making them more susceptible to blockages or ruptures when blood pressure spikes. Impaired blood pressure regulation. This can cause wide blood pressure fluctuations at night, especially during posture changes or sudden awakenings. Weakened nervous system. The autonomic nervous system, which controls heart rate and breathing during sleep, becomes less efficient. Light sleep and sleep apnea. These are common among the elderly but often overlooked. Additionally, factors such as chronic anxiety, poor dietary habits, unsuitable sleep environments, and especially poor blood pressure control contribute significantly to the risk of sudden death during sleep. 1.4. Common misconceptions about dying in your sleep. Many people say, "He passed away in his sleep, peacefully without pain." However, medical reality shows many do not pass away peacefully but instead suffer cardiac arrest or respiratory failure. Some may even exhibit slight convulsions or abrupt cardiac stoppage with no time for response. Family members often fail to recognize signs, thinking their loved one is simply in deep sleep. The lack of pre-sleep health monitoring, such as checking blood pressure, allows silent complications to go unnoticed and untreated. In conclusion, dying in your sleep does not always equate to a peaceful death. Often, it is the result of neglecting small but vital nightly habits that could mean the difference between life and death. Part 2. Why it's crucial to prevent sudden death before sleep. Not after falling asleep. 2.1. Dangerous complications that occur during sleep. Sleep is a time when the body recovers and restores itself. However, it is also a period when the autonomic nervous system takes over full control of vital bodily functions. If a physiological crisis occurs during this time, such as the heart beating too slowly or too rapidly, a sudden spike or sharp drop in blood pressure, the brain being deprived of oxygen for several minutes, the airway becoming blocked due to sleep posture or sleep apnea, then the body's ability to initiate a life-saving response is virtually zero. The person is unconscious and unaware, unable to help themselves or call for assistance. Just 5 to 7 minutes of oxygen deprivation to the brain can lead to irreversible death. 2.2. The death window during the night. According to studies from the American Heart Association, the most dangerous time for elderly individuals during sleep is between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., when blood pressure typically surges again after its midnight dip. Body temperature drops significantly. The heart becomes more prone to rhythm disturbances due to internal imbalance. Stress hormones are released in greater quantities. This explains why many cases of sudden death during sleep are discovered early in the morning, when family members find their elderly loved one unresponsive. 2.3. Preventing sudden death in sleep. You can't wait until morning. Effective prevention must begin before going to bed. It starts with very simple actions that, according to numerous medical studies in Japan, Germany, and the United States, can reduce the risk of nighttime sudden death by up to 70%. Part 3. 4 essential habits to prevent sudden death during sleep after age 70. Habit 1. Evening blood pressure control. The safety valve for heart health. 3.1. Why is blood pressure the leading factor in sleep-related sudden death? Blood pressure is the force exerted by blood against the artery walls as the heart pumps it throughout the body. In healthy individuals, blood pressure follows a natural rhythm. It rises during the day when the body is active and drops at night to support rest. However, in older adults, this self-regulation mechanism often becomes impaired, leading to the following risks. Non-dipping blood pressure. When pressure doesn't drop at night, this forces the heart to work continuously, increasing the risk of heart failure or heart attack during sleep. Sudden spikes in blood pressure at midnight. This often occurs in people who misuse medications, consume too much salt, or experience stress before bedtime. High blood pressure combined with arrhythmias. This dramatically increases the risk of stroke, especially in those with atherosclerotic, hardened arteries. Many cases of sudden death in the elderly occur due to unnoticed nighttime hypertension, simply because blood pressure wasn't checked and no preventive steps were taken. 3.2. What blood pressure levels are dangerous for people over 70? According to the Vietnam Heart Association and the World Health Organization, people over 70 should maintain bedtime blood pressure below 135/85 mmHg. The following levels are considered warning signs if they appear in the evening. Systolic pressure greater than 140 mm of mercury. Diastolic pressure greater than 90 mm of mercury. Resting heart rate greater than 90 bpm or less than 50 bpm. Warning note: even a single elevated measurement among these is enough to pose a serious risk. 3.3. Steps to check and manage blood pressure before sleep. Step 1. Measure blood pressure properly. Rest for at least 5 minutes before measuring. Keep your arm at heart level, remain still and don't talk. Measure twice with a 1 to 2 minute interval. Then take the average. Record your readings daily to monitor trends. Step 2. Log and track your readings. Maintain a health journal or Excel spreadsheet to track evening blood pressure for at least 30 days. This will help you detect silent blood pressure spikes early. Provide accurate data for doctors to adjust medications. Identify correlations between diet, stress, weather, and blood pressure levels. Step 3. Take immediate action if abnormalities occur. If blood pressure is above 140/90 mmHg, stop consuming salty foods or caffeinated drinks. Practice deep breathing for 5 to 10 minutes. Take prescribed antihypertensive medication if advised by your doctor. If blood pressure is too low, drink warm water with a pinch of salt. Use a low pillow to help blood flow to the brain. Contact your doctor if it happens repeatedly. 3.4. Natural tips to stabilize evening blood pressure. Heavy checkmark: drink warm water instead of cold water after 8 p.m. Warm water gently dilates blood vessels, reduces heart strain, and helps return blood pressure to a stable range. Cold water, by contrast, can constrict vessels and raise pressure. Heavy checkmark: take a warm bath for 15 to 20 minutes before 9 p.m. This promotes better circulation, calms the nervous system, lowers heart rate, stabilizes blood pressure, and improves sleep quality. Heavy checkmark: eat foods that help regulate blood pressure at dinner. Steamed celery, steamed salmon or salmon porridge, Honey steamed garlic, 1 clove per day. Beetroot juice, before 6 p.m. Part 4. Habit 2. Avoid overeating and wrong foods before bedtime. 4.1. Improper dinner habits. The silent culprit of sudden death. Evening meals, though seemingly harmless, can become one of the most dangerous factors for cardiovascular and central nervous system health in older adults. When seniors overeat or consume the wrong types of food, greasy, high in protein, high in sugar, the digestive system is forced to work intensely. This increases internal pressure, elevates heart rate, and stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. At night, the body is meant to rest. If the digestive system is still hard at work, it disrupts the biological rhythm, potentially leading to increased blood pressure during sleep, heart rhythm disturbances, higher risk of acid reflux and sleep apnea, chronic insomnia, and elevated stress hormones. If this pattern repeats frequently, the risk of stroke and heart attack during sleep rises significantly. 4.2. Dangerous mechanisms triggered by late or heavy dinners. 4.2.1. Increased pressure on the heart. When you eat heavily, blood is diverted to the stomach to support digestion. This reduces the amount of blood available for the heart and brain during the sensitive nighttime period. The consequences include: the heart must work harder to compensate for reduced blood flow. Those with underlying heart conditions may experience myocardial hypoxia, oxygen deficiency in heart tissue, leading to chest pain or heart attack. 4.2.2. Sympathetic nervous system stimulation. Eating high-fat or high-protein foods activates the sympathetic nervous system, a system meant to function actively during the day. If it becomes overactive at night, it causes increased heart rate during sleep, higher risk of arrhythmias, disrupted shallow sleep. 4.2.3. Increased risk of acid reflux, causing sleep apnea. When the stomach is full and the body lies flat shortly after eating, acid can easily flow back up into the esophagus. This can narrow the airway, trigger temporary breathing stops, sleep apnea, cause choking, coughing, and sudden nighttime respiratory issues. Ideal dinner time for seniors. According to recommendations from the National Institute of Nutrition, the best dinner time is between 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. Dinner should end at least 3 hours before bedtime. The evening meal should account for only 20 to 25% of total daily energy intake. Eating dinner at the right time gives the stomach enough time to process food, reduces pressure on the heart, and significantly improves sleep quality. 4.5. Suggested light and easy-to-digest dinner menus for adults over 70. Menu 1. Oatmeal porridge plus 1 ripe banana plus 1 cup of warm unsweetened milk. Provides enough energy without causing bloating. Bananas help increase serotonin, the hormone that supports sleep. Milk is rich in calcium, which aids in calming the nervous system. Menu 2. Vegetable soup, pumpkin, carrot, broccoli, plus steamed sweet potatoes. Vegetables are high in fiber, making digestion easier. Sweet potatoes are good for digestion and rich in magnesium, a mineral that promotes relaxation. Menu 3. Soft-boiled egg plus whole grain bread plus warm chamomile tea. Eggs provide light, digestible protein. Chamomile tea helps soothe the nervous system and promotes better sleep. Part 5. Habit 3. Always maintain a calm mind before sleep. 5.1. Mental instability. The invisible enemy that destroys sleep. Persistent stress and anxiety not only reduce sleep quality but also significantly increase the risk of sudden death in seniors. By the age of 70, the body loses much of its ability to self-regulate as it once did in youth. Every sleepless night caused by overthinking, every restless sleep triggered by worry, quietly erodes cardiovascular health and weakens the central nervous system. Research conducted at Harvard University shows elderly individuals suffering from anxiety disorders and chronic insomnia have a 60% higher risk of stroke during sleep compared to those who maintain a positive mindset and stable sleep. 5.2. How stress affects sleep and heart health. 5.2.1. Cortisol, the stress hormone that peaks at night. When one feels worried or sad, the body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Normally, cortisol levels drop at night to allow the body to rest. However, when the mind is unsettled, cortisol remains high, leading to increased heart rate, slightly elevated blood pressure, difficulty transitioning the brain into a deep sleep mode, overactivation of the sympathetic nervous system. This explains why many seniors, despite going to bed early, often toss and turn, wake up multiple times during the night, experience nightmares, or wake with shortness of breath. 5.2.2. Serotonin imbalance. The hormone that regulates mood and sleep. Stress reduces serotonin levels, resulting in difficulty falling asleep, light, fragmented sleep with frequent awakenings, higher risk of depression and autonomic nervous system disorders, irregular heartbeat during sleep, a dangerous factor that can lead to sudden death. Part 6. Habit 4. Proper sleeping position and sleep environment to prevent sudden death. 6.1. Why are sleeping position and environment so important? During sleep, the body enters recovery mode. Heart rate decreases, blood pressure slightly lowers, and breathing becomes slow and steady. However, if seniors sleep in the wrong position or in an unsuitable environment, these natural physiological processes can become disrupted, posing serious health risks, especially including sleep apnea, heart rhythm disorders, or sudden drops in body temperature. A 2022 study by the American Sleep Association (ASA) found that over 65% of sleep apnea cases in individuals over 70 are directly related to incorrect sleeping posture or suboptimal sleep environment. 6.2. How sleeping positions affect the cardiovascular and respiratory systems. 6.2.1. Sleeping on the stomach. Risk of heart compression and breathing obstruction. This is the most dangerous position for seniors. When lying on the stomach, the heart is compressed between the breastbone and the mattress, reducing blood flow. The lungs cannot fully expand, leading to low blood oxygen levels. May trigger nighttime arrhythmias. Recommendation: avoid this position entirely, especially for individuals with heart disease or high blood pressure. 6.2.2. Sleeping on the back. May cause sleep apnea if done incorrectly. A neutral position, but can block the upper airway, especially in those who snore or suffer from obstructive sleep apnea, OSA. The tongue and soft tissues at the back of the throat can collapse, restricting airflow. May lower blood oxygen levels, resulting in fatigue, shortness of breath, or chest pain upon waking. Recommendation: only use this position if the head and neck are properly supported and there are no signs of respiratory disorders. 6.2.3. Sleeping on the left side. The ideal position for seniors. Reduces pressure on the heart. Improves blood flow to the heart and lungs. Helps prevent acid reflux and bloating during sleep. Widely recommended for seniors and individuals with cardiovascular conditions. Note: switch sides every 3 to 4 hours to prevent shoulder pain or numbness on one side. 6.4. What is the ideal sleep environment for seniors? 6.4.1. Room temperature, a vital factor. Ideal temperature: 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, 77 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Below 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, may cause hypothermia, constrict blood vessels, and increase the risk of nighttime strokes. Above 29 degrees Celsius, 84 degrees Fahrenheit, makes it difficult for the body to release heat, causing insomnia and increased heart rate. Tip: use an air conditioner with automatic temperature sensors or an evaporative cooler to maintain appropriate humidity and comfort. 6.4.2. Lighting. Keep it off or use dim night lights. Light inhibits melatonin production, the hormone essential for deep sleep. Use warm yellow nightlights with low wattage, 5W, placed away from direct eye contact. 6.4.3. Quiet, well-ventilated space. Avoid loud noises and unexpected sounds. Ensure light air circulation to prevent stuffiness or dampness. Place a small indoor plant, such as snake plant or peace lily, to help naturally purify the air. 6.4.4. Comfortable breathable sleepwear. Choose cotton or natural silk fabrics. Avoid tight-fitting clothing or anything with tight elastic bands that may restrict blood flow. If it's cold, wear a light thermal top or use a thin blanket for added warmth. 4 habits. 4 pillars to protect sleep and save lives. Throughout this article, we have thoroughly analyzed and clearly explained the 4 most essential daily habits that people over the age of 70 should adopt to help prevent sudden death during sleep. White heavy check mark 1. Monitor blood pressure before bed. An early indicator for detecting the risk of stroke or heart attack. Helps guide timely adjustments through lifestyle, medication, or proper rest. White heavy check mark 2. Avoid overeating or consuming hard-to-digest foods at night. Reduces strain on the heart and prevents nighttime arrhythmias. Allows the body to focus on recovery rather than heavy digestion. White heavy check mark 3. Maintain a calm and relaxed mind before sleep. Eliminates stress hormones, cortisol. Stabilizes nighttime heart rate and blood pressure. Acts as a natural remedy to improve sleep quality and promote longevity. White heavy check mark 4. Correct sleeping posture and optimal sleep environment. Prevents sleep apnea, hypothermia, and other dangerous conditions. Ensures true rest for optimal overnight recovery. A final message to seniors after the age of 70. Your body may be aging, but your heart can grow stronger each day. You don't need to do anything grand. Just fall asleep in peace each night, and wake up clear-minded each morning. That alone proves you're winning against time. Start today. Check your blood pressure before bed. Enjoy a light dinner. Listen to your favorite music and smile. Lie on your left side, cover yourself just enough, and sleep in love and warmth. You deserve a peaceful night's sleep. Not just because of your age, but for all the years you have lived, given, and loved.